Let's talk about Mama Wata, also known as Water Mama. She is one of the most popular and powerful African water spirits. Many people worship her throughout much of Africa, and they consider her as the mother of all sea. She is often portrayed as a mermaid, the upper body of a beautiful woman with long, dark, luscious hair and big full lips, and the lower body of a huge fish, though she has other forms that she sometimes can take. Sometimes a large snake accompanies her, wrapping itself around her, laying its head between her breasts. She is known to be protective, seductive, and sometimes very, very dangerous. People are attracted to the limitless possibilities she represents. At the same time, some are frightened by her destructive potential.
So it depends on who you ask. I was told by some of my aunts that she's evil, she's like a demon. If you can strike a deal with her, and if you respect your terms, you're good, but if you don't, she's like gonna come for you. And then some people say that she's good. She's like the protector of waters, of the lakes, the rivers. She takes care of nature, basically. She's like an ancient spirit that takes care of nature, especially the waters. Some people say that she's both, like she doesn't subscribe to like human morals, so she's good or bad depending on the situation. It's kind of like mermaids in general. Most of the people who've told me these stories say that they're evil, but some say that they're just tricksters. And then if you're dumb enough to fall for it, then it's kind of your problem. But I think the most interesting story I learned about Mami Wata was that she was actually human first, and then she was turned into a mermaid. So stay tuned if you want to hear that story. So the legend of Mami Wata that I was told is that she was born in a small village near the Congo River. Keep in mind this is a legend, so there are like multiple versions of the story. This is just the one I find the most interesting. So in this village, it was customary for young women to sharpen their teeth before getting chosen for marriage. Teeth sharpening was quite popular amongst a lot of ancient tribes, and some people still do it today. The girls would go outside of the village past the river to sharpen their teeth. So the young girl, now known as Mami Wata, went on this journey with her best friend. She was said to be the most beautiful girl in the village. She was kind, intelligent, and everybody loved being around her. She was in love with one of the young men in the village, and they promised each other that they would choose each other. But it turns out that her friend had been secretly jealous of her for years, and she wanted to marry the young man. So on the way back from the journey, she pushed Mami Wata into the water, hoping the waves would drown her. Stay tuned for part 3. The Legend of Mami Wata Part 3. So after a friend pushed her into the river, betrayed and afraid, she cried out for anyone to help her. She begged the water spirits to save her, but the waves were too strong, so her body ended up sinking to the bottom of the river. The ancient water spirit looked down on her and felt bad for her, so in a desperate attempt to save her life, he gave her the tail of a fish and the ability to breathe underwater, turning her into the first living mermaid. The transformation also imbued her with all kinds of powers. She had the power to control the waters, to breathe underwater, to grant wishes, to practice magic. But the greatest power that came with being a mermaid was the gift of immortality. This transformation also meant that she could no longer be with the man that she loved, because he was tethered to the land and her to the waters. But the best part about the story is that there are 2 alternate endings. Stay tuned for part 4. The Legend of Mami Wata Part 4. After her friend left her in the river for dead, she went back to the village and made it seem like it was an accident. Until eventually, the man who was in love with Mami Wata ended up choosing the best friend for marriage. Now, this ending is the more evil, sinister ending that I think most people have become accustomed with. According to the legend, because of this betrayal, Mami Wata developed an extreme hatred towards human beings, especially women. So she got revenge on both her former lover and best friend by luring them to the river and drowning them. But she didn't just stop there. She would then go on to use her powers to draw men, women, and little children to large bodies of water and then drown them. She was said to taunt fishermen, to taunt women in labor. Stories of her terror began to spread across the country and eventually the continent, until she's now known as one of the most feared creatures in African mythology. In more modern times, I was even told that she can... The Legend of Mami Wata Part 5. So the more positive ending is that because of the betrayal, Mami Wata realized just how evil some people can be. With her newfound powers, she vowed to protect those that couldn't protect themselves. As the first mermaid, she became a protector of the waters and of nature in general, some say even of women. She would grant wishes and favors for all those who asked, helping women with all sorts of problems. She's also considered the mother of mermaids, so after her transformation, she was said to use her powers to transform others into mermaids, forming an entire kingdom. In every story I've been told about Mami Wata and other mermaids, they're literally described to have their own world that is said to be incredibly beautiful, and it is both in the physical and spiritual realms. So I guess you can pick whichever ending makes you feel better. These stories are so interesting. I'll be sure to share so many more with you guys.
Let's talk about the most popular and powerful mermaid in history, and that is Mami Wata. And this one was highly requested. So let's talk about it. Now, her name says it all. Mami Wata is the mother of the sea, and she is essential in different parts of Africa, like South Africa, the Caribbean, and some parts of North and South America. She is known to be very seductive and beautiful, and is often associated with wealth and prosperity. She is said to have the power to heal the sick and grant wishes. And she is known to live in the rivers, lakes, and other bodies of the water. Now, she is depicted as a mermaid, but she has the ability to transform and shapeshift into different sea creatures. Some say she has the lower body of a big fish, and some say she has the lower body of a large serpent, which is a big snake. And in a lot of depictions, she's always associated and accompanied with a large snake wrapped around her. And she's sometimes carrying a golden comb and a beautiful mirror. And many followers seek her help by dancing, doing rituals, and bringing her offerings. And some of them even enter a trance when they're doing these things. But hundreds of years ago, numerous of water spirits were said to live in West Africa. And in lots of those stories in the different parts of Africa, most of them look, like I said, large snakes or even crocodiles, but had the upper body of a beautiful, enchanting woman. But then over the years, they started depicting them as mermaids and these beautiful, like, fish-like women. So over the time, like, the Europeans basically kind of made these mermaids look like mermaids because they really, like I said, they really look like snakes kind of in a way. But Mami Wata have followers in over 20 different countries in West and Central of South of Africa. Now, she can be very helpful. Like I said, she can wish you and grant all kinds of amazing things. Now, she can be great and wish you all kinds of beautiful things, but she also is known to have a temper and can lure people underwater to their deaths. And in some cases, she might grant people with the ability to heal and be spiritual healers. And in some stories, they say that she can be very jealous and punish people if they cross her. But like I said, this is the mermaid. And a lot of people just think that this mermaid stuff is just all tales. But these people in different parts of the world really worship these creatures. And they are very real. Like I stated before, there's just too many countries across the world that have similar tales and similar beings. And there's just too much water that's undiscovered for it to not be true. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And stay tuned for more of my mermaid tales from around the globe. The marine kingdom. Let's talk about it. Now, when it comes down to the ocean, I believe anything is possible. Simply because there's only 5% of the ocean that's discovered. So 95% is unknown. Now, the marine kingdom is basically this underwater kingdom that is basically like another world. Like, I'm talking about another dimension, another portal, another realm, whatever you want to call it, but it's known to be underwater and filled with things that you couldn't even imagine. Now, many people believe that the marine kingdom and the marine spirits that resides there are very satanic. Now, the marine spirits are the mermaids or the sirens or the creepy different sea creatures that you couldn't even think of. Rumor has it that the marine kingdom is filled with type of sea creatures that you couldn't even put together. You wouldn't have even ever thought of that. You might see a creature that has the head of a human and the body of an octopus. But the creatures that live there can take on many forms, like the mermaids or sirens, for example. They are not pretty. They are not what you think. But when these creatures come on land and they want to cause chaos and seduce and do all this lust, that is when they take on the form of this beautiful, angelic-like creature or woman or whatever they appear themselves to you as. 9 times out of 10, they lure men to their destruction, and they'll just take them down there in their little kingdom and enslave them or do whatever they want with it. But like I said, rumor has it these creatures are supposed to be very demonic, hence the name the underworld, and that is where they live. But I believe these creatures are like human in a way. Some are good and some are bad. Now let me know if y'all want to hear more about the marine kingdom.
Mami Wata, like Mami Wata, you take me places I've never been before. My Mami Wata, Mami Wata, Mami.
Let's talk about the Haitian mermaid, La Sirène. And she is extremely popular. And she has a long tradition and plays a very important role in the Haitian voodoo beliefs till this day. And many Haitians and people all over that have families that live in Haiti have reported on different social medias over the years how they have spotted her or different mermaids in Haiti. And it is said that Haitian mermaid myths are more popular than any other place in the world. But this particular mermaid rules over all waters. both fresh and salt water. And she can be known to be very calm and seductive, but also can have a temper and cause destruction. And she is known to be the lover or wife of Agwe, who is basically a merman that rules over the sea. And he is extremely popular and common in Haiti as well. She is usually depicted as a mermaid because over the years, it is said that she can shapeshift into different sea creatures as well. But people that have allegedly claimed to have seen her in her mermaid state, and she can also transform into a human as well. Some say there are also many mermaids in the waters around Haiti. Or some don't know if it's just her and she's just transforming into different beautiful mermaid beings. But there has been people that have claimed to have spotted several altogether, so that means there obviously is more. But she is known to be the most beautiful mermaid of Haiti. And even though people can't give a description of what she exactly looks like, a lot of people always say she just have long, beautiful, flowy black hair. And she is known to have strong ties with other African water goddesses like Yimaya. And it is said that she came to Haiti with the African people, who were forcefully brought by the colonizers of America. And she is often described as the Haitian version of the different African water spirits like Mami Wata and Yimaya, because all of them share so many similarities. And they're also worshipped as spirits in different parts of Africa and America. And what a lot of people believe is so special about her is she has both European and African influences. And it is said that this mermaid queen lives in a luxurious palace underwater. And she comes to surface regularly so she can be seen by humans. But let me know what y'all think about her in the comments. And don't forget to stay tuned for more of my tales and mermaid stories from around the globe.
I'm about to tell y'all a mermaid secret that you only could get a download to get. First things first, you gotta understand back when we was ruling, we had a direct connection with the mermaid. As you can see on Egyptian walls, and you can search up other walls that it was on. So I don't know if y'all know about the Crusades, but during the Crusades, they try to go through the whole world and try to really steal our knowledge from all over the place. Basically, when they was trying to conquer us and they stole all our knowledge from the libraries and stuff. But it's certain knowledge we did not want them to get their hands on, because we knew our frequency was lowering and we did not want them to have this when we was at our low state. So what did we do? While all this was going on, the mermaids that we already had connections with, we gave the mermaids who we trusted our most secret books, our most secret esoteric knowledge and technology. And the mermaids took it and they took it to the very bottom of the ocean. That's why to this day, they really trying to get to the bottom of the ocean. You heard that they haven't got to the bottom of the ocean yet? It's because they still trying to go down there to get our knowledge. Because at this point, they done use all our knowledge and it's not working no more. So they trying to really get new stuff. So I don't know if y'all saw Aquaman, but it literally shows you what will happen if you get past a certain level down there. So as they trying to get to the bottom of the trenches and trying to get down there, if their head don't explode first, then that's when the traps and all the other stuff come. So in Aquaman, in this scene right here, when they was trying to find the secret staff, the Aquaman, he went all the way to the bottom of the mirror. They went all the way to the bottom of the trench, and these little nasty little things start coming up. Why you think they put this in the movie? And then when he actually reached where he needed to go at past the mirror in the trench, there was the staff that they was looking for, the golden staff. But guess what? The staff was protected by a huge Loch Ness monster. So this is why you don't see Loch Ness monsters and mermaids, because they're down there protecting stuff until we rise back up. And when we rise back up, then we'll get our stuff back. They trying to get down there so bad that they trying to blow portals through the ocean to try to get down there, but it's not working. I know y'all see when they try to blow up the water, blow up the ocean, they really fighting people down there. And at least if y'all looking, don't come for me, don't come asking me, because the knowledge is not gonna be unlocked if y'all try to ask me how to get down there. I only have been given this download to give to y'all. I like for right now.
In Haitian folklores, mermen are called simbis. They are water spirits with dominion over moisture, rain, springs, ponds, wells, marshes. They control river currents and running fresh water. They are powerful sorcerer, shapeshifters, sensual, alluring, and seductive.
Usakasakabo. Today I wanted to talk about mermaids. Caribbean islanders have stories regarding mermaids that go back centuries, with most of them coming from our native and African ancestors. There have been mermaid sightings in places like Jamaica, for example, where they refer to the spirit that watches over the waters as River Muma. Some other names for water spirits among us and our relatives are Akaia, which is Taino, Okoyumo, which is Kalinago, Oriyu or Orehu, which is Lokono, Huarani, which is Warao, and May de Aguas, or Mother of the Waters, which comes from the Guarani. Similar to the tale of sirens who would lure unsuspecting men to their deaths, our ancestors believed mermaids to be dangerous creatures that we should always be wary of. It's not unheard of to hear stories of mermaids enticing, then feeding on the bodies of shipwrecked sailors, for example, or dragging a random swimmer to the bottom of a lake. Mermaids, chronicled by the Spanish, having actually been manatee, seems to be a widely held association. I mean, we all heard what Columbus did, but there's also things like El Pozo de la Sirena, or the Well of the Mermaid, that's on a beach in Manatí, Puerto Rico. Fun fact, manatee aren't the only animal that our ancestors associated water spirits with. You will also see air-walking people draw parallels between mermaids and fish, dolphins, snakes, and macaws. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it all up with an excerpt from The Animism and Folklore of the Guiana Indians by Walter E. Roth. Quote, one of the many mysterious tales told of the Bouto as the large dolphin of the Amazons is once it had the habit of assuming the shape of a beautiful woman with hair hanging loose to her heels and walking ashore at night to entice the young men down to the water. If anyone was so much smitten as to follow her to the waterside, she grasped her victim round the waist and plunged the waves with a triumphant cry. Yeah, the accounts of these water folk vary a great deal, but I believe the following represents the consensus of Arawakan opinion. The Oriyus, or water spirits, always live in the water, and one at least accompanies every choreo. If an accident takes place, the spirit is blamed for it. These spirits may appear in human shape, impersonating both sexes. The female sometimes can be seen bathing on the banks of a stream or combing her hair with a silver comb, sometimes gold, but usually silver, which she occasionally forgets and leaves behind in her hurry to return to the water when suddenly surprised. Y'all can read more from this and other books via tainolibrary.org.
Hey y'all, I just want to jump in here just to kind of clarify the proper pronunciation of the Haitian male mermaid. It is called Simbi, Simbi. So they actually have songs, multiple songs that talk about the male mermaids and the female mermaids. So they have Simbi Nandlo, which means male mermaids in the water, basically. Simbi Nandlo, which represents the male mermaid, the male version of a mermaid, of Haitian mermaid. Or they have La Sirène. So they have this beautiful, beautiful song that it goes La Sirène, la baleine, chapeau me tombe dans la mer. La sirène, la baleine, chapeau me tombe dans la mer. On nous chante pour la sirène, chapeau. I don't know how to sing, guys, but the translation of that song is La sirène, la baleine, my hat has fallen in the water. Let me sing for La Sirène and La Baleine because my hat has fallen in the water. So basically imagine a beautiful woman who's walking by the river, by the beach, and her hat has fallen in the water. And that is one of the reasons why they say do not wear jewelry whenever you go to the beach, because they will steal your jewelry from you, because all they see is something shiny in the water and they just assume that it's a gift that you're trying to offer to them. So when the song, I'm not exactly sure what the explanation of the song is, but what I can translate to you is that your hat has fallen in the water and you are singing to her either to come and collect the hat, or she has collect your hat that has fallen in the water. But majority of the Haitian songs are actually dedicated to the female version of the siren, not the male version. They do have some songs for the male version sirens of the Haitian mermaids, but majority of the songs are dedicated to the female sirens, because the male sirens, you see them sometimes, just not all the time, not as often as the females, because the females, I think there might be a bigger population of female mermaids in Haiti, but who knows? I don't know. I've never been captured by one, and I've never visited the the marine kingdom before. I've been to the beach, obviously, and to the river, but I've seen one, but I've never been invited to one. I think that one day when I did saw a mermaid in Haiti, and I shared my opinions before. If you will look at my playlist and find the Haitian mermaids in Haiti, it's called I Was Kidnapped by a Mermaid. It tells you about, my experience. I share it on there, but I think it would be a great experience. I don't wish that I would get kidnapped by a mermaid, but I think whoever have been kidnapped, all of their stories have been beautiful. So yeah. Anyways, guys, it's called a Simbi, not low, Simbi. And then the Haitian mermaids are called La Sirène. La Sirène, the siren, basically. Anyways, talk to y'all later.
Northern Nigeria is Islamic. The south is predominantly Christian. In addition, African religious traditions prevail. This is where the water deity, Mami Wata, belongs. In search of Mami Wata, we visit the river Rhine areas of eastern Nigeria.
It all began when the German engineer was building the bridge. The river god Nyaba objected. The workers understood. They ran away. The python, which lives there, was pushing them out. When they started construction, the bridge always collapsed. The white man went inside the water, but Nyaba never wanted to open the door for him. Nyaba said he does not know him. A long time passed before the white man sent his boys to me. I invited all the elders from our town. They are highly recognized people. They all came, and we went to the bridge. The white man asked, "Who owns the water?" The people pointed at me. We stayed and discussed with the white man. He then gave us 2,000 naira. We went and bought all the things that Njaba eats: fowl, chicken, ram, and goat. We offered it to the river god. When I performed the sacrifice, Njaba told me that the white man will complete the bridge after the sacrifice, but that he will die after completion, and that we will throw all his belongings into the river after he dies. After my sacrifice, the white man built the bridge, and it stood. What happened when he finished the bridge? The white man returned to his country after completing the bridge. He died there within the year. We carried his load down and threw all his belongings into the water.
Here are 5 signs that you are connected or born with a Mami Wata spirit or water spirit. When you have a strong attraction to water, having a strong feeling to be close to bodies of water, rivers, the ocean, lakes, and it bringing you a sense of calm when you're near it. Dreams and visions. Dreaming of encounters with water spirits, mermaids, other mystical beings from the water. Dreams may be vivid, symbolic, and carry a sense of urgency or guidance about a particular situation or just life in general. Psychic abilities and healing.